can?
Yeah, whatever the team have in line for me, that's what I'll be doing. So if that's before Christmas or after, I'll be ready for it.
We feel that it's not going to be long before you box for world titles because the depth at the lower weights, men and women, isn't quite what it is at the higher weights. How do you feel about that?
Well, look, I feel like I'm making statements every time I get into the ring, you know, and I'm proving myself every time I get into the ring. So it's only whatever the team decide that I'm ready for a world title, then we'll start looking for the titles and we'll start going for them.
What weight? I mean, there's so many weights you could box at because you were 7 stone 5 there. Take a little bit off and you're at the lowest weight, atom weight, 7'7", 7'10", 8 stone. I mean, there's loads of options.
Yeah. Look, my natural weight is minimum weight, but there's people out there who are a bit heavier, and I'm willing to move up the weights. You know, I'm willing to move down the weights too. But we'll have to see what I'm being offered and what the team come to decide.
Okay, well done tonight. It was a pleasure to watch.
Thank you.
Well, Hannah, do you agree with that she's actually got the skills to move into whatever weight category around her that fits in for a world title or a move up to that level?
Absolutely. You know, like they said, you know, my natural weight is atom weight, you know, the minimum weight, and it's crazy to think that she could box multiple weights down there. There's just not very many. It's like the depth of the divisions are much less down that way, but you know, she's just got so much class to show, and I honestly really loved watching that. It was a fantastic performance.
Yeah, you have been watching an utter talent there tonight. Yeah. Well, from one talent to another, Lauren Parker has been putting in the hard yards as well, as she, for Unified Promotions, makes her first shot at a title. Here's what she told us.
My name is Lauren Parker. I'm a professional boxer. I've been boxing for 12 years now, I would say, in total. I actually started out doing a little bit of kickboxing. My dad used to take me to kickboxing shows. I just remember seeing the girls on the show boxing, and to be honest, I was just massively inspired by that. I think women's boxing recently has grown phenomenally. You know, when I first started boxing, I'd be the only girl in the gym, but now you walk through the door and you're seeing other young girls sort of coming through. I still think that there is room for improvement, you know, because you've obviously got the main ladies that you know about, but there is a lot of fighters underneath those women who have got a hell of a lot of potential that aren't actually given that shot to be able to put that out there. Alongside boxing, I have got my own business. I'm a self-employed personal trainer. I've cut my work down a little bit so that I can put more time into the boxing. I feel like I've got the ability to work around it to make it suit me. We're moving in the right direction, and with the right opportunities, like naturally your mindset is there and you become driven with the better opportunities that are given to me. With the opportunities, you just rise to the occasion.
Being around Lauren Parker this week, and all her family are here, the extended family, she has a real energy and electricity about her, doesn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a chance to actually speak to her earlier on today, and because we haven't had a chance to meet each other before, so I was just really struck by the fact that she's just relishing this opportunity, and it's finally come that she's going to get a chance to step up to, you know, for her first title. She's aware that it's a step up, and we were talking about this, but she's also excited. I can see it there, and I think this is her chance to showcase what she can really do. And like I said, it's the moment when you get a title, you go up in the rankings, opportunities to get sponsorship. It just really can help you in your career. So for her, this is her moment, and I'm excited for her.
And how difficult is it? Obviously, she's a physical training instructor as well. She's getting to the point where boxing can just be her life. Obviously, she's in the gym all the time with her clients, but to be able to get to the level where you can put a work life behind you and be just totally involved in boxing, that's very important. She's on the cusp of that as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm very blessed to be in that situation right now. Obviously, I still do my music, but
bassoonist, let's be clear about it. You're a bassoonist. You've been a flautist.
Yes, but you know, for me, like that was a huge turning point. It means that you can focus solely on your boxing career and really push yourself to, you know, up to world level. And yeah, she's on the cusp of that, and that's an exciting place to be.
And let's not forget very quickly, there is an opponent in there tonight, Edna Maltos. She's Mexican. Yeah. She's got a half winning, half losing record, but you can never write a Mexican off, can you?
No, they always turn up to fight, and they're always an exciting fight. You know, we've seen that happening all the way through COVID pandemic. There were lots of Mexicans came over during then, and there were quite a few upsets as well. So, you know, it's a great opponent for her to be stepping in there with, like you said, a step up for her. But I think that's just going to make her give the opportunity to shine, really. So.
Well, let's have a look at the two women, the tail of the tape with Mr. Andy Clark.
So Lauren Parker up against Edna Maltos, and as Gareth said, Maltos with a kind of half and half record. Parker had a little bit of a blip early-ish in her career, lost a fight against Danny Hodges and picked up a draw not that long after that. Maltos has got a lot more rounds under her belt, and the pair of them both 31 years old. Okay, let's see the ring walks. Here's our MC, Verity Panther.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Susanna Schofield and Unified Promotions are proud to present the main event of the evening. 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant IBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight title. And please welcome into the red corner, it's Edna Maltos!
Maltos joining us from Musquis in Mexico. This is the second time that she's boxed outside of Mexico. On the first occasion she picks up a creditable draw over 6 rounds in Canada. Last in action back in August the 20th in Juarez. Unsatisfactory finish to the fight. It was a no contest. Clash of heads saw Gomez unable to continue. And it happened early enough that it didn't go to the cards. She weighed in 8 stone 1 and 4 ounces, as did Parker.
And please welcome into the blue corner, it's Lauren the Lionheart Parker!
Last time we saw Parker was just down the road in Sheffield back in April, where she beat a 5-0 fighter in Agostina Rojas in her first 6-rounder. Looked good that night, steps up to 10 here for the first time. It was kickboxing that brought her to combat sports first of all, but it wasn't long before she ended up down at Stevenage Boxing Club, and everything has rolled on from there.
It's time for the 10 rounds of boxing for the vacant IBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight title. Your area representative tonight is Alan Alster. Your 3 judges ringside, from Birmingham, Terry O'Connor, from Watford, Bob Williams, and from Doncaster, it's Howard Foster. Your A-star referee, Michael Alexander, is in the ring. The timekeeper, Barry Pinder, is at the bell. The boxers are in their corner, and there's no place to hide. Boxing out of the red corner in the pink shorts, weighing in at 8 stone 1 pound and 4 ounces, with a record of 5 wins, 1 by way of knockout, against 7 losses and 1 draw. From Musquis, Mexico, it's Edna Maltos! And boxing out of the blue corner in the white and blue shorts, weighing in at 8 stone 1 pound and 4 ounces, with a record of 6 wins, 1 by way of knockout, against 1 loss and 1 draw. From Letchworth, Hertfordshire, it's Lauren the Lionheart Parker!
Michael Alexander calling these two to the centre of the ring. We've got 3 scoring judges as well in Howard Foster, Bob Williams and Terry
Right, you both know the
O'Connor.
rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch gloves, keep it clean.
Michael Alexander and Howard Foster both from down the road in Doncaster. Terry O'Connor, the West Midlands. Bob Williams, Watford. So 10 2-minute rounds here for the IBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight title. Lauren the Lionheart Parker in the white and light blue. Maltos in the sparkly pink shorts with the tassels. The IBO Intercontinental title on the line here at Super Flyweight. They both made the weight comfortably. 8 stone 1 and 4 ounces.
Solid look about Parker as she started this one. Nice and relaxed. Let a big left hook go there. Big right hand going through as well. Looks like she means business tonight. Lauren Parker looks in tremendous condition. She really does. Big opportunity for her tonight. First title. I know how much she's been looking forward to this one. There's been a lot of pressure on her in the build-up this week, but guess what? Champions feed off the pressure, and she said she's going to go out there and win that title tonight.
Just pecking with that lead hand. Trying to measure the distance for the right hand. She's got the height and reach on Maltos. Just creeping in with that front foot, throws the jab.
Yeah, just feeling her opponent out here at the moment. Parker. Maltos. Quite short, looks very tough, looks to work the body of Parker as well. Could be a good little contest, this one.
That's the 1-2 go, but Maltos just pulls those feet back out of range. She's got to try and work her way onto the inside. Keep that upper body moving. Try and come in behind the jab maybe a little bit more than she is at the minute. Winging off with a big lead left hook there. Trying to find the body, didn't manage to find it. Decent enough opening round there for Parker. For the most part, dictated terms.
Yep, she certainly did. She went out there, took control early, held the centre of the ring, was working well behind the jab. Didn't quite find her distance in that first round, but that's understandable. First title fight stuff. There we see an example of that good jab that Parker's got. Just controlling that distance quite well. Landing a couple of shots, but like I say, her feet were just a little out of range. She just needs to shuffle her feet in range before she lets those shots go. Because Maltos seems like a tricky type of customer. She seems very tough. Squat, she likes to work the body, likes it when the fighter sits in the pocket. So Parker's got to be smart here, use that height and reach to advantage. But like I say, most importantly, just needs to shuffle her feet in range before letting those shots go.
Round 2.
Looking for the right hand there, Parker, then through the left hand off the back of it after it fell a little bit short. Would be good to see her just keep popping that jab out, because Maltos, as we know, is the shorter of the two. She's got to try and work her way in, and you don't want to give her any room to manoeuvre into.
Yep, that's the type of fight that Maltos likes. She likes it when they're sitting in the pocket where she can get off of her own shots. She's not very tall, quite a short reach, so she needs someone to stand in front of her so she can get off her own shots. Parker doing the right thing at the moment, moving around the perimeter of the ring. Just needs to keep her at the end of that long jab and then let her shots go once she finds the range with that jab. Let her opponent come onto the shots as opposed to going to look for it here. Good work from Parker.
Throws that right hand, that single right hand. That jab, that lead left is more of a rangefinder. She'll just push it out, just tip-tap with it a little bit and look to launch that right. That was a good jab into the body there. She sunk that one in, and she's going to need that against somebody like Maltos for exactly the reasons that Spencer just outlined. You don't want to let somebody like this walk in on you and get to a point where they can set their feet, because that's exactly what they want to do.
Yep, she's a tough girl, Maltos. You can see that. She gets inside and she likes having a fight. That's where she needs to be. Technically, she's not that great, but like a lot of Mexicans, they just like having a fight. They like sitting in the pocket. They like it when you get down and dirty. They like it when it's tough. Parker needs to use those height and reach advantages to her advantage. Stay on the outside, work behind the jab, and let the shots go off that. Another good round in the bank there for Lauren Parker.
That's Paul Webber in the ring there, her trainer, whose son William was crowned Southern Area Super Middleweight champion recently. He's away to my right-hand side somewhere, so they're looking for a second title for the gym in a few weeks.
See a little action there in that second round. Some of the good work from Parker, falling a little bit short with the right hand. As like I said, the reason she's doing that is because her feet are out of range. She just needs to shuffle the feet in range before letting that right hand go. But to her credit, she come back with the straight left, which made the range there again. So another good round there from Lauren Parker, that she now needs to just build on that, stick to what she's doing, don't get carried away, don't sit in the pocket with this girl, because Maltos, that's where she likes to be. She likes to have a fight.
Seconds out. Round 3.
That's it, nice work again from Parker, just throwing the 1-2 and then using that footwork. She's gonna need that tonight. She's gonna cover a few miles in there, if I'm honest, Parker, because that's where she's gonna make this fight easy. You know, this girl trains really, really hard, Parker. She puts the graft in. No reason why she can't do that. Lovely lead uppercut there as well.
That was a good shot. Just delivered slightly on the angle, then takes the feet in and sinks that right hand into the midriff there of Maltos, who herself has just managed to get close enough to land a right hand to the body a couple of times, which will give her a little bit of confidence. She hasn't felt too much on the end of her glove so far, and you need to feel something to just build that confidence. Nice sharp jab there from Parker, right into the body from Maltos, who just shuffles in. But Parker, I think, is growing in confidence here, really sits down on the right hand, and that was a good shot, and you could just see Maltos take a half step back there, but we were perfectly side onto that. The balance was ideal, exactly where it needed to be, and again there she's just teed off with a left hook off the back of that right, and all of a sudden that radar has latched on and she has absolutely found that distance.
Yep, timing was perfect there from Parker. The big right hand done it. We saw the legs stiffen up of Maltos, and then moments after there, Lauren Parker landed a flush left hook as well. She's just got to build on that now. Maltos is just slowly starting to come apart here. We see her taking a deep breath now, complaining to the referee. This is good signs for Lauren Parker. Needs to work the right hand over the top again, and Maltos soaking that one up. There's only so many of those she can take, surely. This is solid stuff here from Parker.
That right hand just landing around the side of the head towards the ear, almost behind the ear, and Maltos just marching back to that red corner. That was a good round for Parker. Turned the screw a bit in that round and let her hands go.
Yep, here's some of the action. We see the right hand was the key shot in this round for Parker. Leaning out with a jab, and let's take a look. There we go. Here it comes, right hand over the top. That's the shot, lovely shot, followed by the beautiful left hook. Maltos, to her credit, soaking that shot up, but started to be the breakthrough round there for Lauren Parker, landing lovely with the right hands. Left hook's timing was great. She just needs to build on it now. Don't be silly, take your time still behind that jab. Find your distance. When you're in range, let those shots go.
10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 4.
There's that right to the body that she's looking for, Maltos. Gets in tight there and tries to find the left, but Parker is happy to trade at that middle distance as well. When it gets there, you would think that it would suit Maltos more, but I think Parker's happy to stand the ground and have it at that kind of distance if that's what the Mexican is going to insist on. She's just got more tools in her locker here, Lauren Parker.
Yeah, there's more snap on her shots as well. She's just a little bit quicker, more power, just more snap and a better look about everything that Parker does than Maltos at the moment. Maltos is a slugger. She likes to come forward, she likes to have a fight, but she's a little bit off the pace, and Parker looking too sharp for her in there at the moment. Doing a good job, keeping the distance well, working everything behind that jab. That's what she needs to do, just stick to the fundamentals, stick to the basics, and everything else will come.
Just looking for the uppercut there, dipped off to her right, just tried to shovel it up the middle between those forearms, didn't quite work into the second minute of round 4. Maltos is sticking to a plan here, just creeping in, inching in with that front foot, trying to get close enough to land. She's not being too expansive, gets back in that defensive shell when she needs to, and this is what we'll get from her. She will do this for the 10 rounds, keeping the faith, trusting that in the second half of the fight maybe she'll just begin to get to Parker. Parker might slow down a bit. This is the way she goes about it, and that's what she has to believe.
Absolutely, she's getting success more here in this round. Parker's just allowing her to get into that pocket. She's neglected the jab a little bit. She's looking for those big right hands. She needs to get back to the boxing, Parker. You know, I think she hurt Maltos a couple of times in the previous round, and it went to her and she thought, you know what, I may start getting her out of it now. I'm going to load up with the right hands, but guess what? Maltos is experienced. She sensed that, she closed the gap and she let the combinations go. Parker allowed her to get into the pocket. That was the worst thing to do. I still think she won the round, Parker, but Maltos closed the gap and she started getting success of her own. Like I said, Parker needs to keep the distance. She needs to keep things simple. Work behind the jab, create the openings for that right hand, and when the opportunity's there, take it. That's what she was doing in the previous rounds. In that 4th round, she allowed Maltos to get too close. Still won the round, but made it more difficult. And you're right in what you say, Andy. Maltos is that type of fighter that if you give her an inch, she'll take a mile. If you let her get into it, she'll make things difficult.
I think that was the kind of round for Parker where, given the success she'd had in the 3rd, she went looking for it a little bit, and she'll probably realise that it's not there yet. The stoppage just isn't really there. And maybe get back on her boxing a little bit more in this 4th. Looking for that 1-2 there in the 5th, I beg your pardon. Heading up towards the midway point of this one, scheduled for 10 2-minute rounds, so 20 minutes in total. It's a never-ending debate as to whether female pros should box 2 or 3-minute rounds. Stepping into the lead left hook there, Parker. Maltos though covered up well enough there.
Lovely lead uppercut there from Parker as well, like a bolo punch. Right hand went in as well, and Maltos, to her credit, standing there. She's still swinging away, but this is good work here in the beginning of the 5th from Parker. Shot selection's great.
And caught her solid as she was on the way forward there, Maltos, with her right hand. Did Parker. Again, just takes those feet off to some nice open canvas.
Better work here from Parker, just keeping that distance again, using the space in the ring there, working well behind the jab. That's where she gets success. Then sits in the pocket again with Maltos, just to see if she's softening her on her a little bit, but Maltos is one of those customers that will keep coming. She's tough. You know, don't make things hard for yourself. Stick to the boxing, make things easier.
Maltos, as we've been saying, just in that crouch, coming forward, just looking to try and trap Parker on the ropes there. Couldn't do it. Decent upper body movement there from Parker, but Maltos is sticking to the method. This is how she goes about things.
Yeah,
and these rounds are getting closer.
They are. She's just trying to drag Parker into those trenches, and Andy, that's what she does. You know, that's where she likes things. You see her go back to the corner. Maltos takes a deep breath, but guess what? We know what she's going to be like coming out for the 6th. Very much of the same. Trying to drag Parker in. Parker needs to stick to the boxing. It's going to start getting tough now. Parker, as these rounds wear on, the legs are going to slow down. They're going to start to feel heavy. You know, this is, you know, going to be uncomfortable this second half of the contest, because Maltos ain't going anywhere. She's a tough kid, and she's going to keep grinding it out.
She landed some nice, crisp shots in that round, though, Parker, just setting her feet at distance.
Oh yeah, definitely still dominating the rounds at the moment, Parker. She's still winning the rounds, but Maltos is slowly clawing her way into it. I've got this 5 rounds to nil after 5 rounds going into this 6th. You know, Parker has boxed brilliantly. There's been a lot of pressure on her shoulders this week. She's dealt with it well. She showed great boxing skills. Parker's the type of kid that we see normally coming forward, and she likes to work coming forward. She likes letting the big shots go, but tonight she's had to adjust her tactics. She's had to box on the outside. She showed us that actually there's another part to her game.
Just trading on the inside there. Maltos did get through with a left hand, but Parker again just getting back to range. Nice upper body movement, slipped underneath and fired the left into the body. Good combination there too. The Maltos hasn't really, since that earlier round, looked hurt at any point. She took that stagger step, the wet legs went just a touch when a right hand landed earlier, but since then nothing has registered particularly.
No, like a little alarm call, wasn't it? It was Maltos, just sort of like a little wake-up call. Don't get caught by any of those again, and if you do, soak it up, and that's exactly what she's done. To her credit, Maltos, she's pushing forward. She hasn't been disheartened. She's been caught by some big shots like that right hand over the top again. That was the one that done the damage in the first place. Good work again here from Parker in this 6th round.
Well, she caught Maltos flush with the right hand there as Maltos was moving forward as well, which increases the impact, and she didn't even really blink. That's a good double left hook there from Parker, down to the body, then up to the head. That was a stamp of real quality, and I think she'll be getting the feeling in there, Parker, if she didn't already realise it, that she's going to have to do the 10 rounds here against Maltos, almost certainly, and she just needs to keep her concentration, keep that distance established, not allow Maltos to get onto the inside too much, and just do what she's doing basically at the moment.
Absolutely. Listen, when you get to this level, championship level, the girls are tough. They take the shots, they do keep coming. This is a great learning fight for Lauren Parker, it really is, because we've always known she's had the potential, but she's showing us in. She's got a bit of grit about her as well, and she's got a bite down on her gum shield as well. This is going to start to become hard now for Parker, who's dominating these rounds, is in complete control, but she's starting to enter new territory. This is where it's going to get tough.
Every now and again in that round, she would get dragged into that kind of exchange there. There's just a bit of swelling on the corner of the right eye as I look at Parker over on the far side of the ring. They've got the end swell on it at the moment. The way that that's come up, it looks to me like it's probably a head clash. It might just have been there, actually. The heads just seem to come together a little bit there. It's right on the corner of the eye. That could slip down in the remaining 4 rounds. I think it's probably okay, looking at it, the direction it's travelling in, but that's something else to contend with.
Listen, it's all the experience. It's what Lauren's got to go through. You know, she's a girl at the beginning of her career. She travels. This girl works hard. If she goes on holiday, you see her shadowboxing around the swimming pool, running upstairs wherever she can find mountains, running up mountains. She's that type of girl. You know, she lives, eats, sleeps this sport, and she's going to need all that fitness and all that grit and that determination in this contest, because, like I say, Maltos is one of those customers that's just going to keep coming.
Chin down, Maltos, gloves up. Again, just moving in bit by bit by bit with that front foot, looking to get close enough and then just let those red gloves go. Parker just lancing out with that lead left. The corner will have been telling her not to get involved into anything she doesn't need to. There's another big right hand there which just cannons off the forehead of Maltos.
Yep, felt that shot sitting here at ringside. It was a thudding right hand straight in the middle of the forehead of Maltos, followed by another right hand there. That one was lower on the chin of Maltos, but she's finding the strength from somewhere. She's pushing forward. Parker doing the right thing, moving on the outside. Shot selection's brilliant here at the moment, showing great patience here. Parker's picking the shots really well. That eye, now the right eye starting to swell up, and as I say that, another right hand flush on the chin.
Bit of blood coming from the nose of Parker. They were attending to that in the minute between rounds as well. A slight scuff under the left eye. So Maltos is having an impact here. She's leaving a few little memories for Parker that she'll see in the mirror for the next couple of weeks. But you described this as a great learning fight earlier, and it absolutely is that, because she's got to stick to the plan here, Parker, hold her shape and make sure she stays disciplined, because if she doesn't, then Maltos is going to make this hot in these last 3 rounds, plus the 15 seconds remaining that we've got in this one. It's interesting watching Parker, because what she does quite often is she just kind of feels with that left hand and then throws a kind of reverse 1-2. It's almost a lead right hand followed by a left. Really puts some power into both of them, but the bell goes at the end of the round and a smile between the pair of them. This is a good fight.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now, you know, my scorecard's ringing 7 rounds to 0 to Lauren Parker, but guess what? Maltos is clawing her way back into this. Not winning the fight, she needs a knockout to win this contest. But what I'm saying is, this is where Parker's not been before. Now things are getting tough. She's starting to feel the pace. You see the legs are stiffening. They're slowing down more. She's got to sit in the pocket. And as she does that, Maltos, that's where she wants to be. You know, she's crude. She swings those shots from wide. Early rounds were good for Parker, using the reach, using the speed, using, you know, the movement. Now things are starting to get tough. It's now becoming a mental battle. You know, not a physical battle, it's more mental. Parker's got to bite down on her gum shield here. We're going to see a little bit more of what she's made of now, because these last 3 rounds are going to be tough.
Round 8.
Looking at her over on the far side of the ring there, just rising from her stool. She looks pretty fresh. As you say, she works very, very hard in the gym. Lives her life 24/7, which you have to if you want to achieve anything as a professional boxer. It's not a 9 to 5, it's a religion. Still she comes forward there, Maltos.
Yep.
Through that right hand, it slips over the shoulder, gets caught by another right from Parker, as once more she just tries to kind of worm her way onto the inside.
She's just one of those fighters, Maltos, that just keeps coming, you know. She's tough. Where she comes from is tough, you know. They're born to fight, these girls, you know. They're brought up rough and tough, and you can see that in her performance. She's very crude, likes to come forward, winging those shots over. Nothing good about what she does. What I'm saying, it doesn't look good, but it's very effective, very tough, and now she's drawing Parker into those trenches. This is where it's going to get tough now for Parker, who needs to get back on that jab, but you can see Parker's arms are just starting to drop a little now. She's starting to feel the pace here, Andy.
Right hand into the body there from Maltos, then steps off to the left and looks for the rib cage as well, and she'll definitely know she's been in a fight the next few days, Lauren Parker. There'll be some bumps and bruises, some aches and pains as he looks to just try and come off the ropes there. And Maltos is having her most effective round of the fight, I would say, here in the 8th. Parker has landed some good quality stuff herself, but Maltos has just managed to get closer more regularly. Final 10 seconds. And judges, well, they often like fighters who come forward, and Maltos definitely does that. You're always looking for effective aggression, and I'm with you, because Parker has been backing up at times, has found herself backed up, but has given that ground and landed some good quality shots. But if I was going to go to Maltos in any round so far, it might just be that one.
Absolutely, and as you can see on my scorecard, first round for Maltos there. The corner just looking up to see what round it is. I think they know that they're behind on the scorecards and they need a big finish. Maltos is going to give it that Grand Slam finish as well. There's the action in that 8th round there, where you see Parker starting to slow down. She's feeling the pace. She's biting down on that gum shield. She's showing character in there right now. She's not been this distance before. It's going to be hard these last 2 rounds. She's got to hang on. She's got a clear lead, but Maltos is going to go for it. She's going to come. She's tough. She still looks fresh.
Well, you look at Maltos in the corner there, she's just a few feet away from us, and her expression throughout the entire fight has just never, ever changed. You get the impression that she can maybe do this for 15, 20 rounds. She's got a very economical kind of style, and she can take and hold a shot. That much we do know.
Maltos again, looking for that good right hand from Parker. Maltos comes back with a good left hook. Great exchange here from both girls.
Those two just trading in the centre of the ring there. The two better shots were from Parker, but Maltos was able to take them. She's got a solid chin, and again there just moves in, looks to whack away to the body. Still has enough in the tank to dip at the waist there as well, get out of the way of that right hand.
Tough girl, Andy, she really is, this Maltos. She's just walking through everything. Parker's throwing now, Parker's getting success with that right hand, with the left hand. That's what Parker needs to do. Get back behind the jab, double up, treble up, keep that distance. Do not sit in the pocket with someone like Maltos, who's going to try and make it very tough in there.
There's a decent jab from Parker, just as she was backing up. Lovely uppercut there from Parker as well as Maltos came forward. It's the first time she's really landed one of those. Goes for the left hook. The first one got through. The second one was blocked by Maltos. There's that discipline from her. That left glove was up nice and tight to the side of her head where she needed it to be this deep in the fight.
Yeah, good work here from Parker. She's doing everything. She's staying disciplined. Chopping the right hand in. Lovely shot. Little uppercut on the inside as well. Good work on the short. Good work on the inside here from Parker. She's feeling the pace. You can see that the legs are a little uncoordinated, but she's fighting down here and sticking to what she has to do, working so well.
Well, she did some really good stuff in that last 30 seconds. Some nice variety, the uppercuts, and there's that upper body movement again, and just lifts back up and throws that right hand, and she's really having to dig in here, Parker, because Maltos is making her work very, very hard, and she's responding and keeping that quality as well as we go deep into this 10-rounder. And as you said, she's never been beyond 6.
No, she's doing really well here, Parker. She's in new territory, and look at the action there in that 9th round. Both girls standing centre of the ring, trading. Parker landing some great left hooks, chopping right hands as well. Great stuff there from Parker, who's in new territory. You know, she hasn't been here before, and guess what? I'm looking at her, I've been there before, and I know exactly what I'm looking at. This girl is feeling the pace, but she's showing championship heart, grit and determination by hanging in there and sticking to what she needs to do. She's staying disciplined, working well behind the jab, keeping her shape, even though I know she's exhausted in there, but she's keeping it together.
10th final round.
So Michael Alexander calls these two to the centre of the ring for a touch of gloves at the start of this 10th and final round, and it's been a good watch this. Lauren Parker is way ahead on the scorecards, but as we've been saying, Maltos has never wavered. That method has stayed the same. She's believed in it and trusted it all the way through. She just hasn't quite managed to land enough to win enough of these rounds, but she has made Parker work ferociously hard to keep her off.
Yeah, she's going to keep coming. Big right hand there from Maltos. Parker has started the round well. She just needs to keep it together now. Keep those hands up. Hands are dropping. Now she needs to move her head off that work. Throwing the jab, slip side to side. Don't sit in the pocket. Don't stay on the line. This is going to be a tough 2 minutes here. Maltos is pushing forward. She's taking deep breaths. Tremendous action from both girls here.
Just over a minute remaining. And Maltos, again, chin down, just looking up through those eyebrows, signalling that maybe she was caught around the back of the head, puffs out her cheeks and walks onto a right hand there from Parker, who turned that one over nicely as these two just fall into each other in the centre of the ring. The referee's barely had to get involved in this one.
Heads knocking together on the inside there as well. Both girls are now feeling the pace. Maltos sucking up the air, pushing forward. Parker showing that grit and determination.
Lovely left hook there from Parker, and followed it up with that right hand. You could see the sweat just spraying up ahead there of Maltos, who once more just keeps coming forward, just making Parker fight every second of every minute of every round, and that is what she has done right from the beginning of this. And Parker has needed all of that stamina, all of that work put in the gym to stand up to this test, because if you were lacking in any way in terms of your gas tank, then someone like this would find you out.
I've got to tell you, Andy, what a performance, what a fight actually. Maltos made a great fight of that. She forced it as we expected her to, showed how tough she is in those penultimate rounds. She really pushed it, but guess what? Lauren Parker showed us that she's got what it takes to become a champion. She showed us that she can fight down on the gum shield, because guess what? When you get into those later rounds, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's when it becomes hard. The technical stuff goes out the window and you've got to bite down on your gum shield, and it becomes a mental battle, and it's all about your mental strength, how you can get through those rounds. We didn't know that about Lauren Parker, but we found that out tonight. This girl showed championship quality, and she's going to run out a deserved winner there, but a credit to Maltos, who come and give it a real go.
Well, it was the ideal kind of fight for her, and the great thing about having these kinds of tests of stepping up to the 10-round distance is, as you say, you don't know how somebody's going to handle it. They don't know either. They think they do, and their trainers think they do, but they don't. Until you've done it, you can't be absolutely sure what's going to happen.
You don't know until you know. Trust me, I was in there. I've been there. When I've never, when I hadn't been past six before, and I had my first 10-rounder, and you find yourself in round 9 and 10, and you think, man, I feel like I've been in here a week. Not just a 10-rounder. It is like that. It just goes on and on and on, and it becomes a mental battle. It's all about the mind, the physicalities go out of it. It's about mentally being strong, sticking in there and going with it, because Maltos was always going to push her. That's what she does, She comes from that rough, tough Mexican background, and you can see that she's born to fight. She's a tough little customer, and she put up a brilliant performance. But credit where credit's due. I think we have a new IBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight champion in Lauren Parker.
Maltos getting a good round of applause from the Magna Centre there. They appreciated the effort that she put in, and she certainly did land her fair share. Our Protec colleagues informing me that she landed with 36 moderate to heavy impacts there, Maltos, and you can see from the state of Parker's face that she's very much been in a fight. That little bit of damage on the corner of the right eye, there's blood coming from the end of the nose, a bit of scuffing underneath the left eye. She had to dig those toes in and meet fire with fire, Parker, when it was necessary. For the most part, managed to keep that distance pretty much where it needed to be for somebody of her height and reach advantage, but you've got to have some snap on your shots against somebody like Maltos, or they will walk you down and walk through you. We've seen it happen to plenty of fighters. We're just waiting for the final announcement. Our 3 scoring judges ringside will have handed in their slips. Howard Foster, Bob Williams and Terry O'Connor. And the IBO supervisor just making his way up into the ring on the far side, as well as trainer and fighter just have a little bit of a conversation. Susanna Schofield, the promoter, in the background there as well. A lot of hard work has gone into this night for her. Parker just puffs out her cheeks. She's expecting to hear "and the new" in the next couple of minutes. Okay, let's see which way it's gone and head up to the ring now and to Verity.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause please for both boxers for a great fight. And now, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecard. Terry O'Connor scores the fight 99-92. Bob Williams scores the bout 191. Howard Foster scores the fight 99-91. For a unanimous decision, for the winner and the new IBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight Champion, Lauren Parker!
Well, Hannah Rankin, what a fight, but also Lauren Parker went through so much. You talked about your first 10-round fight as we were watching the fight, and you had your dump in the 7th round. She had to really battle through that 8th round to win that fight.
Absolutely. You know, it's always that thing when you can do 10 rounds in the gym as many times as you like, but it's the first 10 rounder on fight night, and you always have that slump in one round, and then you get your second wind, and you saw that happen in the fight. But I'm so happy for her. What a performance tonight, and there's definitely a step up for her, like she knew was coming. But yeah, she showcased some great skill and some wonderful shot selection.
And credit to Maltos, who never stopped coming, who made it a brilliant contest. Lauren starting very fast, but deciding almost to go toe-to-toe with her and land her heavy punches as well, as we can see.
Absolutely, you know, you can see that Laura likes to get into a fight and should have used her advantages a little bit more, but that's what made this fight exciting, and huge credit to her opponent, who was just determined to continue bringing the fight constantly forward.
What will she be able to do when she goes back and analyses this fight now with her team?
Well, now she's done her first 10-round fight. Obviously, she knows how she'll feel later on when she has to defend, and also she'll be able to see the things that they want to work on. You know, it's always good to do 10 rounds with a pressure fighter like Maltos. You know.
I think it's a brilliant performance. As we know, she's got that kind of energy around her, that electricity around her. She lives for the sport. I feel tonight that she will look at some mistakes she makes. She does get too involved sometimes. She's a real battler. She wants to go toe-to-toe. And at this level now, where she's got this IBO title, she's going to have to box clever at times as well.
Absolutely, but you know what? This is her moment, and I know she's going to be really self-critical, and I could tell in the fight there, she was like, how's everything going, you know, asking her corner and stuff, and that's just the way she is. But you need that to be a champion, and that's a champion mindset. You want to always be better every time you get in the ring.
And the thing is about experience, you can't buy it, and that's what people don't understand watching at home. Spencer was on about it, Spencer Oliver, during the commentary. He was predicting that there was going to be a time in this fight, if you cannot get rid of your opponent, there's a time when you've got to dig deep, bite down on the gum shield, which we've been talking about tonight, and go into the trenches and then emerge the other side. You said you could actually see at times, as you were noticing, that her corner were telling her to keep her focus, that the focus was falling away, which it does.
Absolutely, you know, it's like her conditioning is fantastic, as we could see in the fight, you know, but then there's always that thing, you know, it's 10 rounds, you've got to stay focused for 10 rounds, and it, you know, it's a long time, and you know, switch off and you can take a shot that you weren't expecting, you know, so it's one of those things you've just got to learn and practice, and we're still all guilty of it at certain points anyway, as fighters as we go through.
Thank you, Hannah. Well, over to our triumphant victor with Mr. Clark.
So Lauren, and the new. That's what everybody wants to hear, but wow, she made you work hard for that.
Do you know what? I knew she was going to be durable. I'd had a little look at some of her previous fights and stuff, and being a Mexican as well, what they all say, tough as nails, and yeah, I think I tried to load up at points in there, and maybe I should have probably just boxed a little bit more, but do you know what? I was hitting cleanly, scoring the points, and yeah, I come out with a wide win, so I'm pleased.
But that's the great thing about going 10 rounds, because you have to navigate your way through it. There were a couple of times where I think you rightly felt she might be ready to go and she wasn't, but that's what you learn.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've done other rounds before and I've loaded up and, you know, not gassed out, but felt quite tired, where I've learned from those fights, and going in with the 10 rounds, you know, I've been given advice, you know, manage the rounds correctly, and yeah, I think I tried to do that. I didn't set off too quickly, because, you know, it's a marathon getting in there for 10 rounds. So yeah, I think I paced it well, and like I said, got out, and this is mine now.
Well, no, it's a great reward. Spencer was saying that all fighters, they all feel like they know they can do the 10 rounds, and their trainer knows they can do the 10 rounds. But like he said, you don't know until you know.
Exactly. Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. Like, she was a tough opponent, and I was loading up, and yeah, don't get me wrong, you get tired over 10 rounds, but I surprisingly felt good. I felt fit, and I genuinely think it comes down to this man, because I literally owe him so much. The work he puts me through, I hate him most days, but it paid off, and I felt comfortable in there, and that's what it's all about, feeling comfortable when you're boxing. I don't want to be round 3-4 in and feeling, oh my God, just get me out of there. To be honest, I felt good. You know, I was glad the 10 rounds was up and we were done, but probably could have gone again. So yeah, it's down to the training that we do. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's been a great few weeks for the gym. What did it feel like to box in this kind of setting? You know, co-main event, it's pretty packed in here. We've got a great platform.
I mean, amazing. You know, if you look at my record, I'd only done 4 rounders, 1 6-rounder, straight to a 10-rounder. You know, we boxed at a hotel prior to this, so stepping up in arena, you know, with a good walkout, all the lighting, everything, all coming together with the cameras. It was a big step up, but I felt I handled it well. I tried to keep calm, you know, and I got my good pal Ebony Bridges over there. You know, she told me, you know, just keep calm and just pace the rounds out, and it's exactly what I did. And I felt that advice went down the treat. So.
Okay, congratulations, well done. Maybe even have the day off tomorrow.
I'd love a day off. That would be great.
Look at that emotion, Hannah Rankin, knowing that she is the new IBO Intercontinental Super Flyweight champion. They're going to be celebrating tonight. We'll be around. There's a big group of them here with Lauren Parker. What a phenomenal performance.
Oh, it was fantastic, and like she said there, she paced it so well, and like her conditioning, it was on point, and that's all you need for a 10-rounder. You know, you need to know that you're going in there, and then it's all down to the night and the boxing and just putting your skill set on show. And you know, she did amazingly. I'm so happy for her.
We all are. Well, one more fight for us tonight. Red Johnson, very popular fighter from these parts, sold a lot of tickets tonight against Pavel Garay, the Slovakian. It's only Red's second fight at super middleweight, and he is challenging a guy who's had 44 fights. It's going to be a rough challenge for him tonight.
Absolutely, and it's a good challenge for him because he's been in against some of the other top names in the division. So yeah, no, it'll be a good test for him tonight.
And he's a silversmith.
Incredible. Such a cool other job, you know?
It really is, Ms. Bassoonist.
Yeah.
Well, let's go for the ring walks, and let's go to our MC, the Queen of Queensbury, Verity Panther.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our last bout of the evening. 4 rounds of boxing in the super middleweight division. Please welcome, into the red corner, is Pavel Garay!
Experienced guy, Pavel Garay. Boxed all over Europe, been to the UK plenty, and with some good opposition as well. Lasted the distance against Linus Adofia, Denzel Bentley, Brad Ray. Good fighters. Last fight was 2 weeks ago in Swindon. He lost to Oluwatosin Kajawa.
And boxing out of the blue corner, it's Red Jaws Johnson!
Red Johnson, 25 years old, from Sheffield. 1 fight, 1 win so far. His pro debut was long awaited, much anticipated when he made it at the end of April against Konstantin Alexandrov. Boxing since he was just 8 years old. He's always carried some natural power. He can sell a ticket as well. So, as we discovered a few months back, there is plenty to like about Johnson as he closes out the evening's action.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 3-minute rounds in the super middleweight division, and boxing out of the red corner in the red and white shorts, weighing in at 11 stone, 13 pounds and 8 ounces, making his 45th appearance in the ring, from Poprad, Slovakia, please welcome Pavel Garay! And boxing out of the blue corner in the tartan and beige shorts, weighing in at 12 stone, 2 pounds and 2 ounces, with a record of 1 win, from Sheffield, Yorkshire, it's Red Jaws Johnson! Your referee is Howard Foster.
So for the final time tonight, Howard Foster calls our fighters to the centre of the ring. They're scheduled for 4 at super middleweight. Red Johnson on the left-hand side there, retreating to that blue corner. And that's Pavel Garay, joining us from Poprad in Slovakia.
Seconds out, round 1.
Just looking to snap that jab early on there, Johnson. Hooking off the jab and then trying to find that right hand. He looked good when we saw him on debut, Spence, back at the end of April.
He certainly did. You know, he impressed us. He looks like he's got a good work rate. Timing's good. This takes his time. Shows a lot of patience for a young man. It comes with a lot of support as well. It's easy to get wrapped up in your support and get carried away and make little fundamental mistakes. But Johnson doesn't do that, showing good boxing skills here in this opening round, just taking his time but picking the shots well.
Turning southpaw, he's equally as happy, orthodox or southpaw. Very solid look to him, weighed in at 12 stone 2 and 2 ounces. Super middle's the weight he's going to box up when it comes to titles. Very strong legs when you look at him in the ring there.
Yeah, very thick set, good lead. Right hook there out of southpaw stance, followed by the left cross through the middle there. Broke through the guard of his opponent. That was good stuff.
Garay just trying to keep that guard high enough there, catches the jab on it. Not an awful lot that's been coming back from him in this opening round. Johnson's been nice and busy, switches back into the right-handed stance there. Garay used the ropes pretty well there. A few rows back, they enjoyed that one, the right hand, but it didn't land all that clean.
Yeah, Garay, you know he's got that experience, got that Eastern European style, nice tight high guard, likes to hold his feet and come forward and have a little bit of a fight. So Johnson doing the right thing here, working on the outside, keeping the distance, keeping the space, but picking his shots. Good shot selection from Johnson, switching from orthodox to southpaw and keeping Garay guessing.
As I say, he has been pretty circumspect in this opening round, Pavel Garay, and I think that's going to be the mission here for Johnson, is to see if he can find a way to prize Garay open, who, just as I say that, steps forward and looks to put a few punches together. Nice strong left hand there from Johnson. Garay doesn't make himself an easy target. Right hand through the middle there from Johnson, and just beginning to work his man over a little bit there, but again, the gloves are up, the forearms are pinned.
Yeah, Garay showing a good defence, but this is nice from Johnson. I like what I'm seeing, you know, he's showing good patience, picking his shots really well, and when he sees that opportunity, puts them together in 3s and 4s. Very impressive stuff here from young Red Johnson.
Trains out of the De Hood Boxing Centre as the trainer's t-shirt shows us there. Regan Denton, those two have been together for a little while.
Yeah, some of the good work here from Johnson in that opening round. Looking for the openings, trying to create the spaces, switching from orthodox to southpaw, back to orthodox. And there we see him pinning Garay on the ropes and letting those combinations go, trying to break through the high guard of Garay there. Good first round there from Red Johnson. Impressive. Let's see if he can build on that now.
That's Adam Etches on the left-hand side there, just peering over the ropes. Adam Etches and Scott Jenkins were two young Sheffield fighters from maybe 10 years ago who used to sell out arenas by themselves. Sold 1,500 tickets each. It was absolutely incredible. Boxed at middleweight, Etches, and he wasn't a man who was afraid to let his hands go. He was good to watch.
Yep, solid fighter, Adam Etches. He really was. He'd give us some memorable nights.
Nice bit of upper body movement there from Johnson. He just shuffles in with those feet. Always the same distance apart. Where the front one goes, the back one follows.
Yep, showing good maturity here with Johnson. Just taking his time, you know. He's boxing like a seasoned pro here. Only having his second contest. And like I say, it's easy to get wrapped up with the crowd early on in your career, and you want to go out there, you want to impress, you want to get those knockouts, but he's showing great patience. He's looking for those openings, impressive stuff.
Well, he was in with Konstantin Alexandrov at the end of April, who is a fighter well versed in going the distance, so he got the 4 rounds in on that occasion. And Garay is a very similar kind of operator. He's been stopped once in 33 defeats. That was by Kieran Smith 4 years ago now.
Yeah, they're giving him some good fights, Red Johnson. You know, they're good developing fights, good learning fights. You know, they're not guys that are just going to come. It's quite easy to put an opponent in there that you can blow away. And, you know, you get the first round victories, you get the second round victories, but you're not really learning anything. This is a good start to the professional career of Red Johnson.
Just trying to cuff with that right hand. Garay, though, continues to be well organised.
Yeah, giving nothing away, Garay. He's keeping his hands very tight. He's not taking many chances, not too much coming from him, but doing a good job defensively. Good right hand through the middle there from Johnson. He just stepped back, created the space and drove that shot through. Impressive stuff.
Into the final minute of round 2. This is our final fight of the night. Warriors of Steel at the Magna Centre in Rotherham. And it's provided some really good entertainment. Left hand there from Johnson. Takes that right to the body and then goes back up with the jab. Nice little bit of variety there. He's trying to prise open this tight defence.
Yep, he is. He's looking for the openings. That's what I say. He's showing great maturity. He's showing great patience, switching from orthodox to southpaw, trying to create the openings. He's not just trying to go in there like a wrecking ball and trying to get the job done. You know, this is good stuff from Johnson. Good lateral movement as well, moving the head well, just creating the space, but keeping his feet in range so he can get off with his shots.
So 2 rounds down. Won numerous Yorkshire titles as an amateur.
Some of the action here in the second round. All Johnson again, working the body, coming back upstairs again. Garrell doing a good job defensively, like I say, keeping those arms up and making things difficult for Red Johnson. Like I say, this is the learning stage of your career. These early fights are where you develop, where you learn your trade, and these are good opponents for Red Johnson.
I said earlier, trainer and fighter have been together for a short while. That's kind of officially in the professional ranks. They've known each other for a really long time.
Corners, 10 seconds.
So there's that closeness and bond there between the pair of them, definitely. A little bit of blood just coming out of the left nostril there of Garay, having to be taken care of between rounds. So into the third, Red Johnson, a local man, the ticket seller, popular character around the Sheffield boxing scene. He's in those kind of Burberry shorts with the red gloves.
Nice right hand through the middle of the game from Johnson. Nice high guard from Garay. But Johnson just splitting through the middle of the guard. Johnson just controlling the pacing there at the moment. He's got the distance right. He's working well behind the jab, making things very difficult for his opponent as he snaps another left hand straight through the middle there. Good stuff here from Johnson again.
Garay just coming forward looking for the uppercut there. That was a good strong southpaw jab though there from Johnson. You could see it just put him back onto his heels a bit there, Garay. Right hand into the body as well. He doesn't waste much, Johnson. That's one thing you would say about him. Quite a lot has landed on the gloves and forearms, which is inevitable the way that Garay is set up.
Yeah, it's difficult to break through the guard of like someone like Garay, who seems to have long arms. The body's well protected, the hands are well protected, but Johnson doing a good job. He's switching, he's trying to create the angles, switching from orthodox to southpaw, showing good patience. Everything's there for Johnson, you know. I think I'm impressed with what I'm seeing.
Moves off after throwing that left hook. Garay just sets his feet and tries to wade into a right and left hand himself there, heading into the final minute of round 3.
Yeah, you just like to see Johnson start picking it up a little bit more now. You know, he's stalking forward. You know, I've got no real criticisms of Johnson. He does everything. He's got the shot selection, switches well from orthodox to southpaw. I think if I had one criticism, it'd be like I like to see him go through the gears just a little bit more. You know, just take his feet out of range, come back with 3s and 4s, just change the tempo just a bit.
Garay just getting a bit more involved as we head towards the end of round 3 here, but there again, that's good from Johnson. Just sets those feet and throws that southpaw jab and then left hand. Which stance do you think he's more effective out of?
Well, I think he's effective out of both stances actually. He looks like he does them equally as well. I think he boxes well out of orthodox. Probably better out of orthodox than he does southpaw, but he boxes very effective out of southpaw as well, and it's obviously keeping his opponent very occupied. The opponent doesn't know where it's coming from. I think it's a good quality to have if you can do that.
Little right hand on the inside got through there from Garay, who's never looked hurt at any point. Looks okay, looks absolutely fine as he heads back to the red corner, just off to our right hand side. Johnson staying on his feet.
Yeah, another dominant round there from Johnson. Switching the attacks to body heads, broke through the guard of Garay a few times. Here's some of the action out of the southpaw stance there from Johnson. Left hand through the middle, then switches round to orthodox and is equally as effective there. We see him out of the southpaw stance, throwing the 1-2, but very, very effective stuff from Red Johnson. Actually an improvement from his debut where sometimes he looked over eager, a little bit too keen, but today he's shown good patience, takes his time, kept the distance well. Shot selection's been great and it's been a good performance so far from Johnson. Let's hope now he picks it up in this last round, but doesn't get silly, doesn't get reckless. Just see a little bit more movement, a little bit more combination punching. That's what I'm looking for in this round.
4th and final round.
So a touch of gloves as we head into the final round of our final fight of the night. Leading off with a left hook there, Johnson. I don't think he would have expected anything other than to go the distance. You're always hoping for the stoppage, but particularly against somebody like this, you just go about your business and whatever happens, happens, which is the attitude you're kind of always supposed to take. But as you say, quite often early in careers, fighters will get easy knockover jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. It can build a little bit of confidence, but you can never read too much into stoppage stats in the first 10 fights or so of a fighter's career. It just depends entirely as to who they boxed, really.
Totally agree, and I think Red Johnson looks like the type of fighter that the longer distance will suit him more. He looks like the type of fighter that will steal your soul, break your heart. You know, one of those guys that's hard to pin down. He switches from orthodox to southpaw all the time. His distance and his timing is very, very good. He's a type of fighter over 12 rounds that would probably get more stoppages in the latter part of the fights as opposed to these early 4-round fights. So, you know, I think we can take a lot away from this performance from Johnson. He's shown great boxing variety.
Just got caught with a little left hand there that seemed to indicate to the referee that the heads might have come together, and used to avoid that in the last minute 30 or so. The last thing you want in this kind of fight is to pick up an unnecessary bit of damage, a cut or something like that from a head clash. We're heading towards mid-October now. He'll be hoping maybe that he can get back out once more before the end of the year. I don't know if that's going to be doable for him. As I said, it was a long wait for the pro debut, just backing Garay up there and looking to let his hands go, but Garay has taken everything that's been thrown at him well in this fight. A short right hand there from the Hungarian.
Yeah, Garay's trying to push forward. He's trying to make a fight of it to his credit. This is a great learning fight for Johnson, who's boxing well under pressure. He's staying nice and calm. Nice little short uppercut on the inside as well there from Johnson. But this is it's a good fight. Good fight.
That's a good final round for him here, Johnson, too, because Garay's making him work here. He just fancies this a little bit now, Garay. I think maybe he feels the energy has dissipated slightly from Johnson, and he's just going to go and make a few polite inquiries.
Yeah, I agree with that, Andy. I think that Garai is having a lot of success in this last round, which is good for Johnson. Like I say, these are the type of rounds he needs. He don't need those pushover fights. This is a good learning fight for Johnson, and he's having to ask a few questions about himself in there at the moment. Garai is a tough opponent who's pushing forward until that final clacker goes. He fancies it here, Garai, but Johnson keeping nice and patient, nice and calm under pressure. Good finish to the contest. Great little 4-rounder.
And that was good stuff from Pavel Garai towards the end there. He put his foot on the pedal a bit in the second half of that fourth and final round. Johnson controlled the fight in the first 3 rounds. That final round was close though. That was close, that last one.
Yeah, it was close. I think that Johnson done enough to win it. I think that Garai had an incredibly good last minute, asked a few questions, but Johnson is some of the action in that round. Johnson early on, throwing the combinations, 1, 2, 3 shots, all going through the guard of Garai, but to his credit, he stuck to it, Garai, and pushed forward in the final half of that 4th round and made Johnson ask a few questions to himself as well. Good learning curve, the crowd were pleased, great contest. Actually, Andy, it's been a fantastic night of boxing from beginning to end. I don't think we've had a bad contest. It's been a real crowd pleaser tonight.
No, I agree with that. They've been well matched. Fighters early in their careers have been put through their paces. We see some really good stuff. Okay, let's get the score for the final time tonight. Here's Verity.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, your referee, Howard Foster, scores the fight 40-36 in favour of your winner, Red Johnson!
Well, Hannah Rankin, a very good learning fight for Red Johnson against a man from Slovakia who was in his 45th fight.
Yeah, great learning fight, and he showed some real maturity in there for his second fight. You know, he didn't rush anything, he was working on things nice and measured, you know, and that's so hard to see. You know, you don't always get that in young fighters, so he did really well.
Yeah, and also he's taken his time, he's 25, he had a decent amateur career. He went to go and work as an apprentice at Silversmith. I'd like to see a bit of his work, potentially. I'd like to see a bit of the silver display somewhere tonight. But, you know, he's got a future, he's got a beautiful stance, he moves well, great physique, and he's patient.
Yeah, absolutely. There's lots to build on from that, and he showcased some really nice skills tonight. I like the fact he switched as well, just remained calm at the end there, was just showing off his upper body movement as well. Defensive work was great, so yeah, it'll be nice to see where he goes from here.
But he didn't overshadow what the women did tonight.
No, I have to say, obviously slightly biased on my front there, but yeah, the women have done amazingly tonight. They've all put on a great show, and it just shows how exciting women's boxing can be, and it's been fantastic to have so many female fights on this card.
Well, let's see what Red, Mr. Silversmith Johnson, has got to say with Mr. Andy Clark.
So, Red, that was a good 4 rounds for you, a worthwhile fight.
Yeah. We knew Pavel was a tough guy. We knew that, and I never underestimate anyone, but we looked into some kids in boxers. He has a go, and I knew it wouldn't be a tough fight. I had to kind of his fight. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I need that this early on in my career.
It kept coming, didn't it? You made you work hard in that final round.
Definitely. I had so many more gears to go, but Regan was telling me, don't get into wars. We know you can war. You see me at gym, top kids, and he knows I can war, but I didn't really need to. But you know, sometimes just to fight his fight. So,
can you get back out again this year, do you think?
I'm hoping so. We had a couple of times I should have fought since I last fought, and it didn't come through for various reasons. So, no fault of my own. But yeah, I always train. So, give me a little bit of time, and I'm always ready. You know.
Okay, good to see you tonight. We'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone that's come out. Sheffield, thank you very much. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, a very dominant performance, as we can see there from Johnson. 80 being the heaviest hit on Garai, or as Spencer called him all night, Garage. But that's just part of life with Spencer Oliver on commentary. We are joined once again tonight by Susanna Schofield, the promoter of Unified Promotions. Happy with the event and happy with the gum shield technology tonight?
Absolutely. I think it's added real value, hasn't it? And it's been really interesting to see all those, impacts. And I think now the really hard work starts, is taking that data away and really working it through. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to deep diving into all of that and seeing what it turns out.
And are you very happy with Lauren Parker becoming your first title holder?
Fantastic. And you can see how much it means to her. The announcement's made and she is absolutely delighted. And yeah, it means a lot to us all. She's worked really hard for it, really hard. And I'm super pleased for her, super pleased.
And Hannah, we saw Christina O'Hara-McCafferty, as I said earlier, you were purring about her performance. She really does look like a future world champion, skills to pay the bills.
Absolutely, it was a real pleasure to see her box live tonight, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see her, push on towards world honours, because she's got skills for days, and it was just a really classy performance in there, and I thought it was amazing.
Do I have to say, ladies, that the women dominated tonight, Susanna?
Do you know what? I think they spoke for themselves. I think they did. You don't need to say it, because it was, it was brilliant. They put on an amazing performance. You say Christina was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was a pure lesson in what beautiful boxing is about.
Perfect,
yeah, it was a really all-round night, and the ladies did steal it. You're right, but so we keep saying women's boxing's beautiful.
It is growing and growing. Susanna Schofield, thank you very much. Thanks to our commentary team, Spencer Oliver and Andy Clark, and to you, Hannah Rankin. Good luck in getting a world title back very soon. You have been watching our Warrior Women of Steel. Thank you to all our viewers tonight, the first of very many.
taking control early here in this opening round. It's going to be a tough night.
you